The sun was setting over the vast African savanna, casting long shadows across the dry grass. A lioness moved quietly through the tall reeds, her golden eyes scanning the horizon. She was hungry. Her cubs were waiting back in the den. The air was still. The only sound was the faint rustle of the wind. Suddenly, she stopped. Her ears twitched. A faint cry reached her, a sound that didn't belong to the wild. It was soft, almost human. She hesitated, her instincts torn between curiosity and caution. The cry came again, louder this time. She moved closer, her body low to the ground, every muscle tense. There, in a small clearing, lay a bundle wrapped in cloth. The lioness approached slowly, her piercing gaze locked onto the strange bundle. The fabric moved, and then a wail, a desperate, helpless sound. She nudged it gently with her nose, and the cloth fell away, revealing a tiny human child. Its face was red, its eyes squeezed shut as it cried out into the vast wilderness. The lioness sniffed the air. The scent was unfamiliar, but the child's vulnerability was unmistakable. She circled the baby, her instincts warring. This was not her kind, not her prey. Yet, the child was alone, defenseless, just like her own cubs. Minutes passed as the lioness stood over the child, her breath warm against its delicate skin. The baby's cries softened, as if sensing her presence. Slowly, the lioness bent down and, with the gentlest grip, lifted the child by the cloth. Careful, protective. Without hesitation, she turned and began the slow journey back toward her den, the tiny human cradled in her powerful jaws. The sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in shades of deep orange and purple. The savanna grew quieter, the night creatures beginning to stir. When she reached the den, her cubs greeted her with soft growls, their curious eyes wide. She set the baby down among them, her movements tender. The cubs sniffed at the strange creature, their tiny noses brushing against its smooth skin. The baby, now calm, reached out a small hand, touching one of the cubs. The lioness watched, her heart stirring with something unfamiliar. She lay down beside them, her body forming a protective barrier around this fragile yet strangely familiar creature. The stars appeared one by one, twinkling in the dark sky. As the baby nestled against her warm fur, the lioness closed her eyes, her breathing slow and steady. Days turned into weeks. The lioness hunted, her strength returning as she fed not only her cubs, but also the human child. The baby grew stronger, its cries replaced by laughter, as it tumbled through the grass with its lion siblings. Tiny hands gripped soft fur, and playful growls mixed with innocent giggles. The lioness watched over them, her presence an unyielding shield against the dangers of the wild. She had accepted the child as her own. One morning, she led her family to a watering hole. The air was thick with the scent of other animals, but she remained alert, her eyes scanning for threats. The child splashed in the shallow water, its laughter ringing out across the plains. The cubs joined in, their playful growls blending with the sound of trickling water. For a moment, the savanna felt peaceful, a rare harmony between predator and prey. But peace in the wild is fragile. A distant sound shattered the calm, a low rumble, growing louder. The lioness's ears pricked up, her body tensed. She turned her head, her sharp gaze locking onto the horizon. A cloud of dust rose in the distance, moving rapidly toward them. The rumble became clearer now, the sound of engines, humans. The lioness let out a low, warning growl. Her cubs immediately responded, pressing against her. The child, sensing the shift in energy, stopped playing and looked up at her with wide, innocent eyes. The vehicles came into view, their massive forms unfamiliar, but their intent unmistakable. The lioness stepped forward, her stance protective. The engines roared as the vehicles skidded to a stop, sending a cloud of dust into the air. Doors swung open. Figures emerged. Their voices were loud, urgent. She growled again, her message clear: stay back. But the humans didn't retreat. They moved cautiously, their eyes fixed on the child. One of them called out, their voice trembling with emotion. The child turned. Its face lit up with recognition. A hesitant step forward. Then another. Its small hand reached out. The lioness watched, her heart heavy. She had known this day might come, but she hadn't prepared for the pain of separation. The child looked back at her, eyes filled with both joy and confusion. The lioness stepped forward, nuzzling the child one last time. Her breath was warm, her touch gentle. The child wrapped tiny arms around her neck, holding on for a moment that felt like forever. Then, slowly, it let go. The humans lifted the child into their arms, tears of relief streaming down their faces. The lioness didn't move. She only watched, her golden eyes low, locked onto the child as the vehicles roared back to life. Dust swallowed their figures whole. And then, silence. The only sound was the rustling of the tall grass in the wind. The lioness stood still, her cubs pressing against her sides. Then, with one last glance at the horizon, she turned, leading her family back into the wild. Her heart was heavy, but her spirit unbroken. The child was safe, and that was enough. Nature has a way of reminding us that love and compassion know no boundaries. This incredible bond between a lioness and a human child is a testament to the power of connection, even in the most unexpected places. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and share it with someone who needs a reminder of the beauty in this world. Let me know in the comments, what moment moved you the most? I'd love to hear your thoughts. And if you're not already part of this community, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss stories that inspire, uplift, and remind us of the extraordinary in the ordinary. Thank you for watching. See you in the next story.